Hey, thank you for coming back. And today I'd like to talk to you about another set of gaming headphones. And this is the box it comes in. It is the Attack Shark L90 gaming headset. Now, you do get some kind of information on the box, and not a whole lot, to be honest with you. Also, you get a nice little instruction manual, a couple different languages. Has a detachable microphone, which is a type of a gooseneck where it's kind of bendable. It's a 3.5 millimeter plug. You got a charging cable, USB type A to USB type C. You get a wired cable, so yes, you can use this wired. Once again, 3.5 millimeter to USB type C. Now this is a TRRS type plug, or whatever you want to call it. You get a dongle, which is USB type A, and then if you see, you got on both sides this little hollowed out part. It's a USB type C, and it's 2.4 gigahertz. These are the headphones themselves. And on the bottom, that's your charging port. You got a mode button, power button, and your volume up and down, plus your skip track and all that. Attack Shark right there. They do unfold a little bit. Don't pull them out too much because it does strain the cable a little bit when you pull it out. Okay, I mean, it will stop, but if you pull it too fast, you might rip this wire here. So try not to do that. They do tilt. Only because it's on plastic do they kind of move and flex a little bit. And this is a nice fabric type coating on here with some nice foam in the ear cups. And as you can see, it is foldable. And these weigh 7.5 ounces or 215 grams. It uses Bluetooth 5.3, that's built in, 2.5 gigahertz wireless dongle, and of course you can use it wired. The Bluetooth uses HSP, HFP, A2DP, and AVRCP. You have 40 millimeter drivers, and a frequency response of these drivers or speakers is a 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. The microphone, they claim, is noise canceling. Yes, I got quite an extensive testing video for you to hear where I have everything on, air conditioning, the TV going on with videos of fireworks going off. So you're going to hear that in action. There is some RGB lighting in this little white part here. Let me see. There you go. And while it's on, yes, you can actually shut it off. There's going to be some pictures coming up too, or charts, I should say, that kind of describes everything about the functions of the buttons. There is voice prompts in here. I don't know if you heard it say power on, but let me turn it off.
Power off.
It'll say power on, power off, and like connected, Bluetooth connected, things of that nature. There is an app available, okay, for this, so you can do a little bit of different things with this set of headphones, but like the L80s, Microsoft kind of said, gave me a warning about downloading the app, so I never bothered to download it because I don't want any form of malware or spyware or anything on my computer. And since Microsoft gave me the warning, I decided not to. Maybe right now above me I'll put in the address for it, and so you can maybe go there by yourself and take that chance. Doesn't bother me. And maybe if I remember, I'll put it down in the description below, the address where you can go and download the app for these headphones. Now, they do claim virtual 7.1 surround sound in these headphones. The Bluetooth audio format is SBC and AAC. These also have a built-in 800 milliamp hour battery. The runtime is 15 hours with the RGB lights on, 35 hours without the RGB lighting right there. So, oh, well, you know what? Let me do this too. Right in here is where you're going to put the microphone. So let me do that now. And it's really only one way. You can kind of see the horseshoe or keyhole way to put it in there. And it goes in. Charging port, this light means is ready to be paired because it's flashing. Of course, I told you about those two buttons. Oops. Let me put this up a little bit like that. And there's your RGB lighting. You really can't do a whole lot with the RGB lighting. But I like them because it's not so in your face and bright and distracting. It's nice and subtle. I wish more and more manufacturers would do stuff like that because the subtlety is nice. It's a lot better than being all up in your face. Okay, so these are the Attack Shark L90 gaming headset. Now I'm going to show you some charts, and then I'm going to get into test videos, and then we're going to come back and I will give you my final thoughts on the Attack Shark L90 gaming headset. Be right back. Okay, so right now what you're hearing is audio coming from the microphone on the Attack Shark L90 gaming headset. I currently have everything turned on, the air conditioning. I even have a TV turned on, playing videos in the background. Why? Well, mainly because sometimes you might be having some kind of background noise while using them. Maybe a fan, you're playing a game, a TV, something, anything. And right now, I'd just like to see what the microphone, or would like for you to hear what the microphone is going to sound like with some background noise. Now, to prove to you that you are hearing this microphone, yes, I know that was rather annoying, and I'm sorry about that. Coming up, what I'm going to do is let you hear what it sounds like using a cable so you can have it wired in. And you can hear what this microphone will sound like then. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, as you can see, I got it wired up. This is a really short cable. I think what they're hoping is maybe you can plug it into your phone and use it this way, you know. I don't know, but regardless, I still have the air conditioning on. There's still a TV in the background playing videos of fireworks. Once again, just so you can hear how this microphone is going to react or sound, however you want to call it, with all this background noise. Yeah, and just to prove it to you, and let me see if I can't get it in shot. That's the TV right there shooting off the fireworks. And okay, just so you know, you don't think I'm pulling a fast one on you, okay? All right, coming up next, I'm going to let you hear what it's like coming through my Pixel 7a. I'll be right back. Okay, so right now you are hearing this microphone in action with the Pixel 7a. Now I'm using it wirelessly, you know, using that part of the dongle that goes into the USB-C port. But there is one thing I need to mention about that. Now this case is a Rink case that I got for my Pixel 7a, and the USB part that goes in is too small. It's too short to fit in there, so I got to actually take it out of the case. You know, I know this is a lightning connector, but you know, if they would have made this part just a little bit longer, actually here, let me show you this. If they would have made this part just a little bit longer, probably about 1 millimeter or so, you would have been able to use it with a case. But right now, I have to use it without the case on my phone. And yes, I turned the TV off. It played videos. Well, I muted it. But I still got the air conditioning going on right now. It's reduced noise, and I'm pretty much sitting right underneath the air duct. Just to let you hear what some kind of background noise is going to sound like with this microphone. Coming up next, I'm going to turn on the Bluetooth of the headphones, and I'm going to connect it through Bluetooth on my phone so you can hear what it's going to sound like that way. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so right now what you're hearing is this microphone of the Attack Shark L90 being connected via Bluetooth. And just to prove it to you, here's the USB-C type dongle. Here's the regular USB type A. Let me put this back in. And so right now it's all nothing but Bluetooth. And I just realized in the other couple sample videos, I forgot to do the mute button. So what I'm going to do right now is do the mute button on it. I'm just going to rambly talk and then press. Should be on right now. And that's what the mute button sounds like. Now I'm going to stay quiet, activate the mute button just to see what you hear. Okay, that's it. Yeah, I still got the air conditioning on. I mean, I'm sorry, but it's kind of warm outside and really freaking humid. So the air conditioning is kind of, taking some of the humidity out of the air here. And it's otherwise you'd be seeing me sweat right now. And I really don't think you want to see that. Okay, so that concludes the audio testing of the Attack Shark L90. You heard it on the iPad 9th generation using the USB function, which, by the way, I did use a dongle for that. Just plug it right into here. Then this goes into the iPad 9th generation, and that's how I was able to use it. Then you heard it wired through the iPad 9th generation. Right now, you're hearing it through Bluetooth on my Pixel 7a, and I did use the USB Type-C dongle previous to this one. So hopefully this was a good enough test for you. Now let me get back to the rest of the video and my final thoughts. Okay, now I know some of you might complain or leave something in the comment section saying, hey, we'd still like to hear what it sounds like with nothing on. So right now I shut off all the air conditioning. The TV has been muted. It's as quiet as I can get the store. And I'll even stay quiet for a few seconds for two reasons. One, just so you can hear what it sounds like with nothing going on. And two, to see if the microphone itself does have any what's called self noise, meaning like will it buzz or crackle or something. So here we go. Okay, there you go. Now you heard what this microphone sounds like with absolutely nothing going on. And I'll tell you what, I'll even stay quiet for a second here and do the mute thing again, okay? There you go. Okay, now let's finally get back to the rest of the video and my final thoughts. Okay, so hopefully you enjoyed that test video. I know it was kind of long. So what do I think of the Attack Shark L90 gaming headset? Uh, well, you know what? Before I get into it, the wired cable, so you can use these wired, is 38 inches in length. Okay, and that's just over, what, 3 feet? Something like that. So you got 38 inches on the cable so you can use it wired. So like if you're using it on, a handheld game system, you got that. The charging cable is only 19 inches in length. So it's a very, it's at least it's bigger than a foot. It's like a foot and a half. So it's not that bad, but I wish it was a little bit longer. But let's get into what I think about the L90 Attack Sharks. They're really nice. The fabric on here is very comfortable. It's very breathable. Yes, your ears will get a little warm in it, but mine never sweated at all. And by the way, the run times that I gave you, yeah, they're pretty accurate. Depending upon how loud you're running these things, you'll get the run times out of it. I mean, obviously, the louder these are, the more power they're going to use. Okay. Now let's get into how they sound. Well, it's a very good sound reproduction on these. It's a little bit more than a flat response, a little bit better than a studio monitoring headset. The bass is there, has a decent little tiny thump to it, okay? Not a whole lot, so if you're expecting a whole lot of bass, you're really not going to get them out of this. Like I said, I didn't download the app, but there is an equalizer in there, and maybe you can adjust the bass to give you a lot more thump, if you will. These seem to me to be aimed more for the mid-range, which is really nice and punchy. And the low end on these, there is a rumble, but it's not muddy. It's a clean low end on these. And like I said, the mid-range is very punchy. It's a little bit more prevalent than the low end and the high end. The high ends are very crisp and clean on this. I think they took it down a notch with the high ends on this headset. So it's a very well-rounded, very good sounding set of headphones. Actually, I think these sound better than the L80s I did previously. So I really did enjoy using these, not just for gaming, but for just listening back to music, movies, and videos, like YouTube videos and Rumble and BitChute videos. Yeah, I belong to all those as well. I really did enjoy these. Like I said, they're under $30. They're foldable, so longevity is going to play a big part in how good these are. In my personal opinion, if you get, say, a year and a half, 2 years out of these, and then they go dead, for the I think it's like 28, 29. Let's just round it up to $30. That's not a bad deal for $30 out of these things. I think it's a great deal. And by the way, they do control the volume of your device. So when you're turning it up and down on the headphones, you're going to notice the volume turning up and down on your device as well. So yeah, the Attack Shark L90 gaming headset, in my opinion, is definitely worth getting. Definitely great for a backup set of headphones. So like if your expensive pair dies, these are a great backup for it. Great for traveling, just walking around listening to music, things of that nature. Great for the kids because it's so inexpensive. I think it's definitely worth getting for the price. Like I said, it's under $30. So don't expect something that you would expect from like a $300 or more set of headphones. Don't expect that. These are built to a price point, and I think they've done very well with these. Yes, it's mainly made out of plastic. They don't turn or anything really like that. There's not a whole lot of leeway except for the flexibility of the plastic. So yeah, if you're going to take them and throw them and everything else, yeah, they're going to break. Okay, they're not like a $400, $500, $600 set of headphones, for crying out loud. Don't treat them as such. So yeah, the Attack Shark L90 gaming headset is definitely worth looking into. All right. And well, I really hope you enjoyed this video, the test video, and everything else. Your pets, and all of your friends and family, I hope you all have a great day. Take care, everybody.